Hey everyone, Taylor the Collect Jurassic back with another new Mattel Jurassic World toy unboxing. We're looking again at some Epic Evolution figures. These brand new figures have just started to hit. I already have a review on my channel, but this next one is a big one. Literally, the figure is a large figure. This is the Ruthless Rampage Allosaurus. Very excited about this one because it is one of the biggest figures that I know of at this point that's coming this year from Mattel for Epic Evolution. Kind of a feature figure in terms of obviously action features and all that stuff, but also in size and in detail too. You'll notice this thing looks a little bit stylized, almost animated, which I'll totally get into that later here in the video. And you can also tell this figure is large too. And of course in the video I'm going to do some comparisons of the Ruthless Rampage Allosaur here with some of the Allosaurs that came before it from Mattel. But yeah, just super stoked to finally get this big one in hand. I feel like new Jurassic World toy collecting starting early this year. I wasn't expecting to get this one in my hands until the new year, but here it is. So let's take a look and get it out of the box. But first things first, let's take in that awesome box. Again, you saw the Epic Evolution logo that adorns pretty much all of these figures, as well as the disjointed Jurassic logo, as I call it. We have the big cool T-Rex symbol, right? We also have the words Jurassic World kind of broken out from that. I mean, usually we have like the Jurassic World logo, right? But they've kind of changed up the formula this year and kind of had this big Rex icon, you know, Jurassic World kind of hidden away somewhere else. So I wonder if they're going to start embracing this this Rex symbol a little bit more, possibly. But yeah, elsewhere on the package we have some really cool you can see like this vista in the back on mountain range with the sunset. We also have the little locales here. It looks like this is a river Allosaurus. So kind of keeping that up from Dino Trackers. They brought those biomes, those habitats, you know, onto the packaging for these Epic Evolution figures this year, which is cool because I really liked that detail last year. You got the Epic Evolution on the side. There's a Jurassic World logo. Then on the back here, we can see the different sort of like features of the figure evolved for battle, which we'll take a look at, the Rampage attack function. And also you have a little view here on some other figures coming soon. Triceratops, the mountains. This fella, I think his name's Nuvenator or something, or I can't think of his name off the top of my head. I know it has an N in it, but you can see he's got these crazy spikes too, which is a little different. The promo photo we have of him so far doesn't have those spikes, but that's probably the evolve action activated on there. I think the Triceratops has his little spikes sticking out too. So all these Epic Evolution figures have this Epic Evolution. Not the smaller ones, but the bigger ones for sure. So that's the box. Let's go ahead and open this bad boy up and take a look at it outside the box. Get a closer look at the mold detail, action features, all that good stuff. Looks like it's going to be 3 snips to free it, and then we're ready to roll. So I think I got this one out. Oh, yeah, there we go. One more to clip. All right, pretty easy unboxing there. And then we can just straighten the feet. They have the feet kind of curled inward so it stays in the box. And this guy's got a very solid posture, I must say. One of the things that a lot of the Allosaur figures have, which we'll find out, it's sort of a weird trouble standing, but they really fixed that with these solid legs. So let's go ahead and take a look at this figure detail wise. You can see it's got lots of nice scales throughout. It's got these bumpy ridges that literally go all the way down the tail. Not something I kind of remember from other Allosaurs with like this plating, this sort of segmented plating, if you will. So that's interesting. Elsewhere we have, you know, the big arms with the claws. Looks like those claws are unpainted, which is a shame, but the claws on the feet are at least painted, so that's something. Articulation wise, these arms kind of do the standard rotating hinge. So they move back and forth as well as inward and outward from the body. Not a very smooth joint, I would say, at least on this figure. They feel a little creaky, but actually that one almost feels loose now. So there's the arms. Like I said, on mine they feel a little creaky, but I don't know, it's kind of a little bit loose, I would say, at least on that side. But this one's a little bit better. So yeah, definitely got some loose joints here on the arms, which is interesting. The legs, however, seem to be ratcheted. So those will move up and down, and they'll move independently from one another. So you can sort of do like a running pose. But I would definitely say that he has a very like I don't know, very like posed posture, if you will. So even when you kick his one leg back, and that's about as far back as it'll go, doesn't really look like he's running, and vice versa. You can't really make, that's as far as forward as this one will go, and that's as far backward as this one will go. So he really just wants to stay in that dedicated pose, right? Elsewhere we have the you know, the head, right, which is going to be tied to the action feature. But I don't know if you noticed, but I was able to kind of click it down to different postures too, so you can kind of have a looking down and a looking up posture. That's just moving this wheel itself, but staying in place, which I think is nice. That keeps it, you know, you can do a little bit of small posability without tying to the action feature that way. And then, yeah, the head is pretty cool because, of course, we have the painted eyes, who, of course, we would expect that. But what I'm really excited about are these rubber teeth. These aren't painted teeth. These are rubber teeth that we've seen on a lot of the bigger figures lately, but not some of these medium-sized figures. But I love the painted teeth because it lets it lets you be able to kind of be a little more rough with this, especially kids like biting dinosaurs and stuff, without worrying about that rub on the teeth. Because let me tell you, Mattel toy teeth rub a lot. So changing them to something rubber, both the bottom and the top, allows them to be a little bit more, I guess, you know, they last a little bit longer that way. So there's the rubber teeth on the top and the bottom. Nice dark painted tongue there. I think all the Allosaurus figures since they started have had that dark painted tongue, which is funny. So, yeah, I mean, I think, you know, considering like the kind of low amount of paint on here, you have the blue and the brown basically. It does a pretty good job in terms of coverage from tail to snout, kind of blends to the body, and then of course we have those painted nails. So not a whole lot of paint deco on this, which is interesting. Some of the smaller figures have a lot of paint deco, but probably it's what's on here is all it needs, is what I would say. So yeah, I mean, that's your Ruthless Rampage Allosaur in all of its glory. Well, let's talk about the action features, because that's what's really cool about this guy. The very first thing we have is the evolution feature, which is this switch back here, right? Press that, and his spikes come up, or they can go down. Pretty smooth action feature. It doesn't take a lot of effort to do. You can see they're sort of embedded in here, and they shoot out. Let me see if I can get a better angle on that. Like I said, his legs don't really want to rotate too much, so it's hard to get him low to the ground. But yeah, you can see they have basically 3 rows that come up. I don't know if that's something that we'll see eventually in a movie or show, but certainly it's here for this figure, right? And then, of course, we have so I did the spike pieces. We have the DNA scan tag here that's in this trap door. So you pop that open. There's the scan tag. It's even got like a little textured muscle in there. I love that. Be cool if it was painted red, though. That'd be even better. But yeah, this thing just pops back in. Pretty simple. And then we have this little rotating wheel up here, which is really interesting. So rotate this wheel upward, or he'll roar or he'll snap down. So it doesn't matter which way you do it. And you can kind of hold it too. So he's kind of holding with a roar like that. And I think I can probably pose him down a little bit too. Yeah, I can pose him down. That's kind of a cool pose. I mean, granted, his legs don't let you do a lot, but at least you can pose that sort of crouched roar, right? Get his spikes out even. Pressing it again, snaps it back down. Pressing it again, brings it down to the lower level. Then he snaps. And I think it does the same thing if you roll it the other way. Just in reverse. Yeah. Just in reverse. So you basically just have this snap or this upward roar. And again, he holds his mouth open for that upward roar, which is cool. And you can kind of get this in-between phase where he holds his mouth open before he snaps and makes the noise. Yeah, so you can kind of repeat the same actions. It's pretty cool. I wouldn't say it's the smoothest action. You really have to pull on this thing to get it to do it. But I do like that it holds at different points. It reminds me very much of like the Dino Escape action feature that you could kind of pose in certain points during the action feature. So sort of an evolution of that even. That was a switch. This is like a dial. So there he is, snapping at something on the ground. So Yeah, that's his action feature. And then I'm going to get into some comparisons, of course, too. But one thing I wanted to point out before we get to that is, you know, why this guy's going to look so different compared to the other Allosaurs that Mattel's come out so far. It's kind of like an all-new design. I mentioned like this back plating. I mentioned this animated face. Running theory is that this figure is probably going to be part of a new TV show on Netflix. I'm sure you've heard of Jurassic World Chaos Theory, a follow-up to Camp Cretaceous coming here pretty soon. So that's kind of the running hypothesis of why this figure looks like this. Very, very stylistic. So possibly based on its design in the animated show. So that would account for, you know, a lot of the sort of strangeness on this figure. As far as like the weird plating on the back and the spike feature, not sure if that's just for the toy design or if that's actually something we're going to see in a show or whatever. But without further ado, let's go ahead and start comparing this guy to other Allosaurs. First one, I'm not going to do every single Allosaur that Mattel's done. I'm just going to do ones that fit into certain sizes. So we have the Battle at Big Rock Allosaurus, which is a pretty cool, somewhat rare figure to find and a pretty hard figure to get to stand up. All the Allosaurs have had this issue where they have this really extreme back ankle bend. I'm not sure why Mattel posed it like that and they kept it going and forevermore and made the figure pretty hard to stand, but they all have that. But this guy, you see, has the same, you know, basic coloring of the blue and the brown, a little bit lighter, but even he has a very realistic looking face in terms of like what it's meant to be like. This in this case, Battle at Big Rock, but obviously based on the movie appearance too. But you can see he's much smaller than the new Allosaurus. Shorter, way less long. I mean, probably has a good 4 inches on him lengthwise. So yeah, I mean, definitely a smaller Allosaurus, right? Which brings me to our next sort of small Allosaurus. If we can get Battle at Big Rock to stay up. And this one's funny because it has a very similar paint coloration to this new one. This was a Dino Escape Allosaurus. I can't remember if it was called a Roarivore or a Wild Roar or a you know, Roar Striker. They've had lots of different names, but it's that same price point as a figure like this. You can see it's almost the same size as it is, basically the same size as this figure. Maybe the tail is a tiny bit longer, maybe. I don't even know if I would say that. They're, for all intents and purposes, very similar figures, with just some slight retooling to make this guy stand up a little bit better, but he still has that extreme ankle. You can see here his foot kind of picks up off the ground. Here they made his whole foot lay on the ground, which helped him stand a little better, but then he looks like his foot is flat. So really weird posing they did with these Allosaurs, trying to keep the sculpt going. So yeah, same thing with this guy. He's going to be much shorter, shorter in height, shorter in length, but really they have a very similar paint coloration in terms of the blue and brown match, right? But much smaller, right? So there's our kind of two smaller comparisons. The last one, one of my favorites, the Dominion Allosaurus, and possibly my favorite Allosaurus figure Mattel's ever done. This guy's awesome, Walmart exclusive. He's huge. He's got the battle damage, if you recall. He's got electronic roar. And just really cool naturalistic colors on top of being huge. He also has that flat ankle, which is weird, but still a really cool figure in that it's just bigger than these other Allosauruses, much bigger. In fact, it's pretty much the exact same size as this new Allosaurus, which I can show you right now. Go ahead and get these two out of the way. So you can see, you know, I have them both kind of ratcheted up one leg, but they're the same height, very much intentionally. I'll go ahead and move them down a peg, and we can take a look at them lengthwise, see who's got the longer body. If I can stop attacking that battle damage door. So yeah, lengthwise, they are very much the same length. The Dominion one's definitely maybe a good 1.5 inches, 2 inches longer, if you can make that out over here. So this guy wins in the length category for sure, but definitely, like, as far as like just looking at them side by side, they look to be about the same exact size. So if you're looking for an idea of how big this guy is, and you have this one in your collection, I mean, that's basically the same footprint that it takes up. But yeah, this foot has always bothered me. It's so strange. It almost looks broken right? So that's one notable improvement on this new reworked Allosaurus is they've actually fixed the legs, so he looks like he's standing up without a broken foot, which is, you know, which is nice. It doesn't look like he's in pain anymore, right? So we got all of our Allosaurs there. I mean, again, not every Allosaur that Mattel's ever made, but certainly all the ones that are meant to be this version of the species with the brown and blue. So everyone's a little bit different. And of course, the new Rampage, Ruthless Rampage Allosaurus is a lot different when you take into account that face design and the teeth. I mean, you can see how similar these two are, but no dice on the no dice on the new one. He's kind of doing his own thing, clearly. So Ruthless Rampage Allosaurus, again, this is the epic evolution figure, possibly from the new Jurassic World Chaos Theory show. Has this really cool action feature that lets you, you know, snap down, roar up. You got the spikes you can do on the back too. And then, of course, it has that little bit of articulation you can do as well. You know, I'm pretty much happy with this figure. I will say I'm a little disappointed with how loose these joints are. Wondering if it's just my figure or if it's sort of just a common issue with these figures. I mean, we see it on Mattel toys from time to time, but I mean, this one feels okay. It's a little loose, but this one you can see is literally just dangling. So something there doesn't seem quite right. So if you do get this figure and yours doesn't have this issue, let me know in the comments. I'd be interested to know. But otherwise, I'm pretty happy with this. The style like sort of animated style on the face does not bother me. I mean, I have a million Allosaurs already, so I'm going to get a different one. I might as well get one that looks noticeably different. Again, I love the rubber teeth. I think that's a great add to this, so I got no complaints, again, besides that dangly arm, but that could just be a quality control issue. But yeah, that is my review of the Ruthless Rampage Allosaurus. Again, this is coming out now. I got mine at Walmart. I'll put the link in the video caption if you want to grab one for yourself. But I think that's all I got to say about this one. Again, I'm Tim with Collect Jurassic. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.